Everdeen, and today I want to share with you everything Universal FanFest Nights. I was able to attend the very first night of Universal FanFest Nights, and I have to say, as a nerd, I had an absolute blast, so I'm sure you will too, especially if you're part of these fandoms that they're featuring at the event. Star Trek or Back to the Future, D&D, anime like Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece, oh my gosh, and so much more. So, first of all, if you're wondering what the heck is Universal FanFest Nights, I'm going to answer that in this video, as well as try to answer other questions that people have had over this event. But first of all, I actually have quite a few TikToks that I've already made all about Universal FanFest Nights because I have been hyped for this event, and now that it finally happened, I'm like, okay, I gotta share it all in this one video. And again, I'm going to try my best to answer everything, but if I don't, you still have questions, please ask them in the comments below and I will try my best to answer them. But okay, here's all the information I've shared for Universal FanFest Nights. Everything you need to know about Universal FanFest Nights, the all-new after-hours fandom event that's coming to Universal Studios Hollywood this spring. Firstly, think of FanFest Nights like Halloween Horror Nights with the walkthrough experiences, the themed zones, the special food offerings, the merch, but make it nerdy. Specifically, make it Star Trek, Dungeons & Dragons, anime like One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen, Back to the Future, Harry Potter, and Super Nintendo World nerdy, because those are the themes of this year's event. Star Trek Red Alert is going to be a walkthrough experience where you navigate your way through the Starship Enterprise as you become part of a story complete with special effects, audio-visual effects, multi-sensory activations, and themed performers. Again, very similar to a Halloween Horror Nights house, but Star Trek themed. Similarly, Dungeons & Dragons Secrets of Waterdeep will also be a walkthrough attraction, but themed after D&D, where you'll encounter popular creatures from the world of Dungeons & Dragons along the way. And let me tell you, Universal partnered with Jim Henson's Creature Shop to create these props and animatronics, and they showed us a photo. Wow, they look so good. And for Back to the Future fans, you'll be able to take the tram back in time to 1955 Hill Valley. Universal said that their goal is for guests to feel as though they are recreating the scene in the movie where Marty McFly first arrives in the past, with familiar music, props, the time machine on display, musical performances, and even a recreation of the clock tower lightning strike, sending Marty back to the future multiple times each night. And oh my gosh, to my fellow anime fans, we are finally getting an anime attraction at a US Universal Park, and it's so exciting. So for this event, they're going to have One Piece, The Great Pirate Gathering, and it's going to be something similar to a scare zone from Halloween Horror Nights, but they're calling it a fan zone for FanFest. And essentially, it's going to be a dedicated area themed after One Piece with props, photo ops, and meet and greets. Yes, we're going to be able to meet the Straw Hat Crew, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, and Usopp. Also going to be a Jujutsu Kaisen experience. It's a film-based experience that debuted in Japan, but now it's coming here. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter was also going to be part of this celebration, with opportunities to meet new creatures like a baby Niffler, baby dragon, and a grand Akemi. Plus, this special experience will feature a visually spectacular Hogwarts Always light projection show, and Super Nintendo World is going to be hosting their Let's Go Yoshi celebration, where they're going to debut Yoshi as a new meet and greet character. Oh my gosh, but that's not even all, because they're also going to be hosting a scavenger hunt where you find all 5 Yoshi eggs, and once you complete it, you get to meet another colorful Yoshi. And then on top of all of that, there's going to be special themed food offerings and merchandise. As you can tell, I am very excited for this. And if you are too, tickets are on sale now. So be sure to snag them today so you can experience the very first year of Universal FanFest Nights. Are the rides going to be open during Universal FanFest Nights? The answer is yes, but not all of them. I do have a list of the rides that will be open during Universal FanFest Nights, which is an after-hours event. So the rides that will be open are Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, Flight of the Hippogriff, Jurassic World The Ride, Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, Revenge of the Mummy The Ride, and The Simpsons Ride. So all of those rides are planned to be open during Universal FanFest Nights, but they are subject to change, which means, like, you know, if anything's going wrong with the ride, there is a possibility that it could be closed, and they just put that in there, you know, just in case. But for the most part, they're planning on keeping those rides open for Universal FanFest Nights, so you can enjoy everything that I talked about in my previous video. If you missed the first video, I talk about everything new that's coming to Universal FanFest Nights and everything that you need to know aside from these 2 questions that I failed to answer in that video. But yes, the rides will be open. And then the second question that I get a lot is everything going to be available every night of FanFest nights? Or is it like one day it's Mario, one day it's Star Trek, one day it's Dungeons and Dragons, and like that? No. So everything that I talked about in that video, so all of the different fandoms that are coming to FanFest nights are all going to be available every night of FanFest night. So it doesn't matter which FanFest nights date you go on, you'll be able to enjoy all of it any day of FanFest nights. So that's really exciting. So if you're a huge fan of all of those different fandoms, you're going to be able to enjoy it all in one night. So yeah, those are the 2 main questions that I get from the FanFest Nights video, but if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. I'll try my best to find an answer for them. But yeah, have fun at Universal Studios FanFest Nights. It's gonna be a really great time. I'm like so excited for it. And yes, tickets are on sale now. Just look up Universal Studios Hollywood FanFest Nights tickets and it should pop up. So yeah, hopefully see you there. You actually can dress in costume for Universal FanFest nights, which is really surprising because typically theme parks do not allow guests to dress in costume for safety reasons. So I wanted to go over the costume guidelines for Universal FanFest nights. This is the Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal City Walk Hollywood costume guidelines for Universal FanFest nights 2025. Guests may wear costumes to Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal City Walk Hollywood on Universal FanFest nights 2025 event dates, so not during normal Universal Studios daytime theme park hours. This is specifically for Universal FanFest nights. That's when you can wear costumes. Guests may not create a false impression that they work for Universal or are emergency personnel. This includes, without limitation, wearing clothing or accessories identified with law enforcement, security, firefighters, emergency responders, or the military, performing or interacting with other guests as if you are a Universal employee, performer, or character, or otherwise disrupting other guests. So essentially you can't dress up as an employee, you can't dress up as like a first responder, again, emergency personnel. Guests must be fully clothed, including shoes and shirts, so no shirtless Zorro cosplays, unfortunately. Except as required by Universal or for religious or medical reasons, guests may not wear any covering that fully or partially obscures a person's face, including costume, mask, and facial coverings. Now this one was surprising. Face painting, both full and partial face, is permitted. They are going to allow us to actually wear face paint, which I was really surprised for because I was thinking about cosplaying as Sukuna and he has the markings on him, but normally they do not allow face paint whatsoever. So I was like, oh, I won't be able to do that, but they said that face painting is going to be allowed. So apparently if you are wearing face paint and you do not look like your ID, they're not going to serve you alcohol, is what I understand from that guideline. Okay, but face painting is allowed. That's pretty exciting. Prosthetic makeup that conceals any part of the face other than the forehead, including makeup that conceals the eyes, nose, or mouth, is not permitted. So remember that. Clothing that Universal determines as indecent, exposes excessive portions of the skin, or that Universal views as inappropriate for a family environment, including without limitation, gory or gruesome clothing or accessories, is prohibited. So none of that. Service animals may not wear or be part of a costume. Dang. No weapons of any kind are permitted. No item that resembles a firearm or is manufactured in the shape of a firearm is permitted, including, without limitation, sci-fi and fantasy guns. Even if it's like an otherworldly kind of gun, it's still not allowed. Costume accessories, weapons, and props may be permitted, subject to the below requirements. They must be made of soft, lightweight material, for example, foam, cardboard, or light hollow plastic. They cannot have any sharp edges. No special or atmospheric effects, including, without limitation, balloons, smoke, fog, powdered effects, sound effects, are permitted. So none of that. No veils, long trains, stilts, or oversized costumes that could pose as a safety hazard to guests or team members. Finally, costumes may not interfere with security screening. Costumes cannot be more than 25 inches wide and /or 80 inches high to meet Universal's metal detection regulations. You need to actually be able to fit into the metal detector. And for your safety and for that of other guests, some costumes may not be permitted on certain rides, shows, or attractions. Costumes, including capes, must fit inside the ride vehicle and not interfere with restraints. You may be asked to remove part of your attire or accessories before participating in certain rides, shows, and or attractions. And everything that I just stated is subject to change without notice, aka there are issues if people do not follow the rules, if it does actually become a safety hazard, they're going to be like, actually, never mind, you're not allowed. So please, again, follow the guidelines. Keep in mind yours and other people's safety and have fun with it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to actually be able to dress up for this event. I'm really not sure who I'm going to cosplay as. For sure, I do want to cosplay because when are we ever given the opportunity to cosplay at a theme park and everything's going to be like really cool themed? I really love One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen. Again, I am thinking about going as Sukuna. I did go as Sukuna for Anime Expo last year, so I could just rewear that cosplay. But I also really, really love One Piece, so I'm thinking about doing a One Piece cosplay. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will try to find the answer for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun at Universal FanFest Nights. As you know, I'm already so pumped for Universal FanFest Nights, but to add to the hype, Universal decided to send me this gift box filled with goodies inspired by the various fandoms that will be found at Universal FanFest Nights. So let's go ahead and see what's inside here. And yeah. Okay, so we have quite a few things in here. Starting with this card that states that Universal FanFest Nights is going on select nights, April 25th through May 18th, 2025, and that tickets are on sale now. So be sure to get yours, because I already have mine, for day one, baby. I'm so excited. So in this bag, or rather this box, we have this hoverboard inspired like little pouch, which if you do not recognize it, it's from Back to the Future. And there will be a Back to the Future section in Universal FanFest Nights. I believe you're going to have to take the studio tour, and then you're going to take that studio tour tram all the way down to the section that's going to be themed after Back to the Future. And it looks so cool in the concept art, so I can't wait to see it in person. So this is the Back to the Future themed item that they're also going to be selling at Universal FanFest Nights. So if you love any of these items, it's going to be at Universal FanFest Nights. And then we have this little puffball. So I'm not really like well versed in everything Star Trek, but I could tell that this is Star Trek related, and it even says on the back that it's Star Trek. And I think it's like a little, I'm assuming it's like a little Star Trek animal, and what it is a little shoulder buddy, because I could feel that it's like magnetic. So what you do is, if you're wearing like a t-shirt or something, because I'm just wearing a small strap, you just put the magnet underneath your shirt, and then you put the little puff on top, and it stays on your shoulder like that. Actually, like, works quite well even on my little skinny strap. So yeah, maybe not too well. It will work better on a t-shirt, but that's a really cute little puffball. And that is, again, Star Trek related. And then we also have, oh my gosh, we also have this little Yoshi backpack keychain. That's so cute. Yes, so at Universal FanFest Nights, they're going to have a Yoshi-themed little event. I think it's going to be a scavenger hunt. So you find all the eggs, and when you do, you get to meet a special Yoshi, like, or I think, do you get to meet a special colored Yoshi, or you get to meet Yoshi? Because I don't think you can meet Yoshi at Super Nintendo Land right now. So either way, so excited. If I get to meet a different colored Yoshi, that's so cool. If I get to meet Yoshi in general, also so exciting. But yeah, this is a little like backpack keychain, which is so cute. And then for our Harry Potter fans, we also have this Pygmy Puff. I like how it comes like in a little carrying case. That's so funny. Oh, I need scissors to open it. No. But yeah, it's this little pink Pygmy Puff that you could carry around and have as your little pet as you walk around at FanFest Nights, which is so cool too, because during FanFest Nights, you are encouraged to dress up. Like, of course, there's going to be like certain guidelines that you need to follow, you know, for safety and stuff that you can't take. You can't be like in full-on cosplay with like, you know, your prop weapon or, you know, stuff like that. But you can dress up and like cosplay to a certain extent, which is so exciting. So like adding this to your cosplay would be perfect. Okay, so the last thing that we have in this bag is a Dungeons and Dragons themed scroll, but I'm like, wait, is it just a scroll? Why is it so thick? So we have, oh yeah, it's like a map. So the world that we're going to be exploring at FanFest nights, there's going to be like this interactive kind of like Dungeons and Dragons themed house. And I think this is the map to like the world that they're going to try and be recreating or transporting you into. So that's really, really cool. It is Waterdeep, City of Splendors. So there's the map here, and then it's also a little bag. That's pretty cute. I love the idea of this. It's adorable. It's like you carry around a little scroll, but then you could also store whatever you need in that little pouch. So that's pretty cool. And then, ooh, so I'm most excited for the One Piece area of the park. So you're going to have this, or they're going to have this like One Piece section where you could meet the One Piece characters. And I'm so psyched for that because I'm just so pumped that anime is coming to a US theme park. And I also love One Piece. I mean, who doesn't love One Piece? One Piece is great. So I'm really psyched about that. I'm glad that they sent me something One Piece. That was so cute. We were also able to see like a preview of all of the other merchandise that's coming to Universal FanFest nights. So there's definitely more from each fandom. If you're like, wait, that's all they have for One Piece or Yoshi? No. They have a ton of merch. So be psyched for that. Ooh, wait, I think there's something at the bottom here. Ah! Wait, what is this? Is it a tote bag? Ooh! Okay, cool. So they also sent me this Universal FanFest Nights t-shirt, which says Universal FanFest Nights on the front, and then on the back, what is this? Okay, I'm like, is it anime? What? So it's just Universal FanFest Nights, but they also have in Japanese to represent the anime that's coming to Universal FanFest. I don't know why I'm so dang excited for this. I guess because I'm loving the colors, and I'm just like, again, I'm so hyped for Universal FanFest Nights. This is so cool. It's really good quality too. And then, we also have this tote bag inspired by Jujutsu Kaisen, which is another anime that's coming to FanFest Nights. Oh my goodness. I was just thinking too. I was like, there's nothing Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm absolutely taking this to Universal FanFest Nights. I'm so excited. Okay, so that was everything in this Universal FanFest Nights gift box. Thank you so much to Universal Studios Hollywood for sending this gift box to me. Again, I was already so hyped for Universal FanFest Nights, and now I'm just like giddy with excitement. I'm going this week. The first day I will be there. Will you be there? I'm so pumped. Anywho, thank you again to Universal Studios Hollywood, and thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I see you at Universal FanFest Nights. Everything you need to know about Universal FanFest Nights, the all-new after-hours event at Universal Studios Hollywood. Starting with Super Nintendo World, where you can meet Yoshi. During this Let's Go Yoshi celebration, you can go on a scavenger hunt to find all of Yoshi's hidden eggs, and once you do, you have the chance to meet either a special blue or pink Yoshi. You can also meet other Nintendo characters, enjoy the rides, and shop exclusive merch throughout the night. And over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you can find new creatures like an Alchemy, baby dragon, and adorable little Niffler, as well as catch the Hogwarts Always show that is projected on top of the Hogwarts Castle and complete with fireworks. This show occurs every half an hour throughout the night, so you'll have plenty of chances to experience it, and it's definitely worth watching in person. Now, for Dungeons & Dragons fanatics, or for those who love fantasy, you're going to really enjoy the D&D themed walkthrough attraction, where you're taken along on a quest to save Waterdeep from Xanathar the Beholder, which looks incredible, by the way. Yet another attraction that must be experienced in person. It was so fun. I went through it twice. Another great FanFest experience is found when you take the studio tour down to the Back to the Future themed lot, where you are taken back to 1955 and placed right into the movie with characters like Marty McFly and Doc Brown. There's recreations of iconic scenes, there's live music, dancing, and even a photo op with a DeLorean. And the third walkthrough experience offered at Universal FanFest Nights is a Star Trek themed one, as it takes you on board the USS Enterprise D and gives you a tour featuring many familiar locations from the franchise, including the iconic bridge. And for anime lovers like myself, we get two anime experiences during Universal FanFest Nights, one being a Jujutsu Kaisen 4D show at the DreamWorks Theater, and the other being a meet and greet with Luffy and the Straw Hat Crew. This area of the park also has One Piece photo ops to enjoy as well. And just a tip, the character meet and greets are extremely popular, so be sure to prioritize which characters you'd like to meet and plan accordingly. Speaking of popular, you can also meet Galinda and Alphaba from Wicked at FanFest nights. And of course, there's plenty of awesome merch to shop from, as well as an abundance of new FanFest inspired foods to try. This event is fantastic for my fellow fandom fanatics, so be sure to grab your tickets now and experience the first ever season of Universal FanFest nights. Another question I've been asked recently was if Express Pass is available. And if you don't know what Express Pass is, it's essentially like a fast pass or like a front of the line pass. And yes, it is available for this event. However, I would say that actually you don't really need it, because the longest wait time that I waited in was 20 minutes, and it only took like 5 minutes to actually get into the attraction. So they're like really making it go very quickly, and I was able to do everything. I went again the very first night of the event. So if the wait times are like it was when I went, then I would say that you don't need Express Pass. However, if you do want to meet the characters, those lines are gonna be long, like super long. The longest I waited was like an hour and 20 minutes to meet Luffy. Yeah, he was like the very first character that I met, and that was like the very first thing that I did, and I feel like a lot of people like decided to do that first. So maybe if you go try to meet the characters later in the day, it'll be like a shorter wait, but at the same time, there are some characters like the colorful Yoshis that actually leave early. I think their last meet and greet like is at 10:30. So if you're not already in line to meet the colorful Yoshi, like you're not going to be able to meet them. And yeah, there's like other like characters and experiences that end early. So you need to make sure that you figure out what exactly you want to see and experience first, and try to experience that before they leave early, which I think is a little bit unfair. Like they should have it posted like what times each character or what times each experience like is done for the night, because you automatically assume like they're going to be out the whole night, right? And I think the event ends at like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. And the fact that, you know, some of the characters are done meeting at like 10:30, you're like, what the heck? So yeah, the Straw Hat crew, Luffy and the Straw Hats, they are out all night. But I think they close in line like an hour or half an hour before the event ends. So again, just be prepared. But yeah, when it came to the actual attractions, like the rides, there was like no wait time except for maybe Bowser's Challenge, which is the Mario ride in Super Nintendo World. I think that kind of had like a long line in the beginning. But then also that one closed early too. I think that one closes at like 11:30 or something like that. Again, I do not know the actual times. So if you have any questions about the times, make sure that you ask a cast member that day, because they usually have like a schedule like when things close down or when the characters are like done for the night and stuff. So yeah, I do not know the times. I just know that they close early, but I don't remember what time. I should have made a mental note of that, but I just know that they close early. So try to, you know, find someone who has that information and plan out your day. And then I think you'll have like the most like seamless, perfect experience, because you'll know the times. With me, like I had a great time, but I do wish that I knew that it closed early and like what the times were, because then I would have been able to do everything in a half. But I was, again, essentially able to do everything that I wanted anyway. It was just a little bit more of a struggle. But if you have any other questions, be sure to ask them in the comments below. And again, I will try my best to answer them. I'll also be leaving the link to Universal FanFest Nights tickets and their like FAQ, their information page, in the description box down below. That page has more information about the event, FAQs, and a link to where you can purchase tickets. Again, Universal FanFest Nights was so much fun, and I hope that you have a blast if you decide to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, found it interesting, entertaining, or helpful, please give it a big thumbs up before you go, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both are at Krystal Everdeen. It's a fun time, and I would love to see you there. Plus, I post on there first, and then it takes me a little bit to post here on YouTube. So if you want to be the first to know, again, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both are at Krystal Everdeen. It's a fun time. I'd love to see you there. If you're a YouTube fan like me, be sure to click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye, and have a magical day.